Hi everyone, welcome to your Pick-a-Pal reading. Today we're going to be looking at what do they want to tell you but can't. And if you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. But if you guys have any ideas for another Pick-a-Pal video, I would love to see them in the comment section below. And without any further ado, the pile number 1 is the All-Star Tarot. Pile number 2 is the Bianca Nero Tarot. And then pile number 3 is the Deviant Moon Tarot. So I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of time, and then we're going to get started with pile number 1. All right. So we're going to get started with pile number 1. If you guys haven't chosen yet, I would recommend going back and just taking a moment to pause and see which deck you want. But we're just going to pull some cards here for pile number 1. I'm going to go ahead and take these cards. And I'm going to keep shuffling. All right, you guys, so this is pile number 1. Your overall energy here is the Fool card, which is a really nice energy to have, actually. I think that for sure this person wants to begin something new with you. I think that in their heart of hearts, they want to start something new. This certainly feels like a romantic connection. It's very interesting because there's almost a lot of conflicting energy here. Because this, for example, this Devil card, it's always fascinating to me to look at what cards how the devil is depicted in which decks. And this one tends to really zero in on that feeling of feeling trapped. So I think that what this person isn't telling you is that in some way, shape, or form, they're feeling trapped and they're trying to escape that. The 8 of Swords and the Devil card both kind of give me that same vibe, because like I was saying, the Devil card here has the devil depicted here holding these two people almost a hostage inside of this little cage. And then here with the 8 of Swords, you have this this avian fellow, right? This bird that can't really go anywhere because it's been blindfolded. And I think what's very interesting about the 8 of Swords in particular is that normally it's depicted as a woman who has been blindfolded and tied up. And what's fascinating about it is the fact that there's 8 swords around her, so she could use any one of those 8 swords to free herself, but the blindfold doesn't let her because she doesn't know, right? But with this particular depiction, like, this bird can't use these swords to free himself, or itself, I should say, right? So it feels like whatever this person has gotten themselves into, or whatever situation they're in, it feels completely out of their control. And I feel like that's why they haven't told you, because they don't really want you to be worrying about something that nothing can be done about, basically. Even though they want to be able to come forward to you in a way that promotes sort of this happiness, because I see this 10 of Pentacles as the eventual goal. So I think this person really wants to have sort of that happy home environment with you. So the 10 of Pentacles, to me, I like to call it the happy wife, happy life card. So whatever your ideal version of a perfect home environment is, that's what this card is reflecting, right? So for some of you guys, that might be the white picket fence, the house, the kids, the dog. And for some of you guys, it might be a condo downtown, right? So like, this person wants that with you. And I feel like they don't even care what it is. It's just, it has to be with you. And that's why you have this Fool card as your overall energy, because they just want that beginning with you. But, right, I've touched on these sort of 4 cards here, but I haven't touched on the King of Pentacles, the High Priestess, or the Six of Cups in reverse. So, the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands here, I feel like they probably have sort of the financial backing mostly, because I've said King of Pentacles, I believe, twice now. But either way, with this King of Wands in reverse, they are lacking sort of this motivation, this spirit, this drive, right? And definitely if you're dealing with a male partner, like the Wands is a very sort of not feminine, a sort of masculine kind of energy. So I feel like this person is trying to really work on themselves. Also, I just looked at the timer on my video, it was at 5:55, but I feel like this person doesn't quite feel manly enough for you. And, you know, regardless of, you know, what their stance is and what your stance is on, like, masculinity and whatever, like, that's how they feel inside, and I don't think it's even, like, a conscious choice. And that's why this High Priestess is in reverse, right? Because the High Priestess has a lot to do with femininity, in particular your intuition. So I feel like this person really isn't listening to themselves either. They feel trapped. These are like sort of boundaries that they've set for themselves, and they're not even listening to their intuition, which is probably telling them to just come forward to you anyway, because I feel like you don't really care about this. You just kind of want the connection, and you want this Ten of Pentacles. So it's no coincidence to me that this is the only card that is in the upright. These 2 cards are what are in the upright, and all these cards are in reverse. It feels like this is their energy in particular alone, and this is the energy that both of you have in common. So here with the final card, the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups talks about nostalgia and childhood energy and sort of like the childlike wonder. So because it's in reverse, I usually feel like that's somebody wanting to be a little bit more down to earth, a little bit more mature or adult-like, right? So I feel like this person has been in connections in the past where they've sort of acted in ways that were immature or childish, right? With that negative connotation. So I feel like this person really wants to take a more mature approach to coming forward to you. And, you know, that's why we have partially that's why we have this King of Wands in reverse. So in short, what does this person want to tell you but can't? They want to tell you that they feel trapped. They want to tell you that they don't feel exactly good enough, and they're trying to sort of change themselves in order to come forward to you. But they can't tell you that because they're so trapped in whatever is going on. And I think that this person is going to come around, but it might have to take some time. So, you know, act accordingly to that. But that was the end for pile number 1. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, or go back and choose another pile. But we're moving on to pile number 2. All right, so this is pile number 2. All right, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and take this extra card that came out. But this is pile number 2, and I do want to remind you guys that in case you enjoy the reading, please leave a like or a comment. But I can tell you right now, this person really wants to work together with you, right? And sorry, I'm just trying to get these cards to line up a little bit more. But this person really feels as if they can get a lot of work done with you. And I mean that sort of in a literal sense of like actual work, but also like romantic, because I see the Three of Pentacles. So this tells me that you guys have an affinity for working together. So like it comes naturally to you guys. You can really delegate stuff out. It's like you go to the grocery store and you say, well, you go pick up this, I go pick up this, we meet up in 5, and then we go. And it's very efficient and it's very powerful, right? And that might not be a good example. It's very silly, but that's the kind, like, this is power couple. They see you guys as a power couple. And we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Like, this person is really kind of head over heels for you. I'm not surprised, because whenever we see the Wheel of Fortune, right, the Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter, which is a card of expansion, or a planet of expansion, I should say. So this to me feels like with you, they feel unstoppable, which is actually like a really beautiful thing. Their concern and what's holding them back here is this Judgment here with the 5 of Pentacles. So this person is worried that you're going to judge them, or perhaps you have judged them in the past. Perhaps you guys have been through a breakup, I'm getting, for some of you, or maybe they've judged you. So I know this is kind of a weird energy to describe, but it feels like they feel unstoppable with you, but at the same time, they've also like broken it off for whatever reason. And I think that for a lot of you guys, there might be a lot of dead space or dead time where you just haven't talked, because that's what this 5 of Pentacles feels like to me. It feels like a closed door. It feels like a lost opportunity. Just like somebody from the outside looking in. I'm also getting that you guys might be doing some like internet stalking, some lurking, probably from both sides, to be entirely honest. But there's like this sense of judging, sense of judgment, sense of like not good enough. And I think it's a definite burden on the relationship, because it kind of stops you guys from moving forward. But what this person isn't telling you is that they want a good outcome with you. This is what's stopping them, but what they want is this Wheel of Fortune, the expansion, is this Magician, manifestation, is this 6 of Wands, victory, is this Ace of Cups, love and new beginning. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to 2 of Wands. They're trying to plan and come forward in a way that would make you the most receptive, because I think that their number one priority here is not come off in a way that you wouldn't accept them, basically. And it's really interesting, because I feel like what they're not telling you is with this 3 of Pentacles, with this Magician, and with the 6 of Wands, they feel like they can do anything with you. Like, you guys complement each other in a way where whatever their faults are, they're your strong suits. So that's why you have this Magician card here, for sure. It's like they're the swords and the wands, and you're the cups and the pentacles, and together you make up this Magician card, who is able to manifest anything because he is a master of all 4 elements. And like, it just keeps kind of coming back to this 6 of Wands, because it's victory, it's winning, it's coming back a champion. And I don't use that word lightly. They feel like a champion with you. They feel unstoppable. They feel invincible. They feel fantastic. And this Ace of Cups, I feel like, looking at this Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Cups, Magician combo, I think that this person is a little bit timid. Even though I do see like the 6 of Wands and the 2 of Wands, I feel like this person kind of wants things to happen on their own, and they don't really want to take action. They don't want to move forward, but they just want things to kind of happen, right? Because I see this sort of divine energy in this card, right? Because like you can see, there's a cloud here, and it's almost like a gift from God here, the hand and the cup, right? So it's like they want someone else to do the work, which may very well be you, even though I don't see anything like the 10 of Wands or anything like that. But I feel like eventually they are going to work up the nerve to talk to you again, because I do see the 2 of Wands. That may very well be you, but either way, like, this combination here of the Magician, the Ace of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, the Wands, 6 of Wands, I should say, is just amazing and phenomenal, and definitely the best pile so far. So with this 3 of Pentacles, they want to work together with you. They want to make mastery with you. And just like, in short, what they don't want to tell you is that A, they're head over heels for you, and B, they just admire all the qualities that you have that they don't, and together they think that you guys could probably rule the world. So that was pile number 2. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment. I would love to see, especially if you guys have any ideas for a new pick a pile reading. But we're moving on to pile number 3. And I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading. I'm going to go ahead and take this card in the upright. All right. So this is pile number 3. Before I get started, I do want to remind you guys that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the Ace of Swords. So I'm thinking that for a lot of you guys, what they want to do is they want to bring clarity into the situation. Because I think that there's been a lot of things left unsaid, and a lot of things left undone, and it's kind of eating them up inside a little bit, to be honest. They really want to come forth and really just like set the record straight is what I'm getting. So it might not even be that there is one particular thing that they want to tell you. It might just be that they just want to get everything clear, because I feel like it's just been miscommunication after miscommunication, and they kind of want to come forth and fix it, which I think is pretty admirable. But I'm also getting the energy that you guys are a little bit fed up, just because of like the energy that they've put you in, which I think is completely understandable, because it feels kind of messy, to be honest. The energy that I'm feeling is like there's been a lot of miscommunication, a lot of like it just feels like it's been one after another, and you're kind of done with it. So I think what is going on here is that it's almost like they want to take a little bit of time off here, because they want to come back as this King of Pentacles, right? So the King of Pentacles is very earthly, very materialistic, but not necessarily in a bad way, right? They have their finances in check. They're able to have material stability, which I think is very admirable. But I think that they're a little bit immature when it comes to emotions, and probably a little bit stubborn and thick-headed, right? And right now, as I said, thick-headed, I think I heard a lot of people go, yeah, right? So I think that's what it is that this person was probably overly stubborn and wanted to be right all the time, and that caused a lot of issues. Here we have the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords was actually a very interesting card, because when it came out, I almost didn't know what energy it was in. I almost didn't know if it was like the upright or the reverse, and it just felt very weird and difficult. So it almost feels like this person is like constantly trying to take a break and constantly trying to get back at it, and just will not commit to one or the other. And I think that that can mean a lot of things. For one, honestly, now that I think about it, I'm getting very much like Gemini energy. So some of you guys might be dealing with a Gemini, but it feels like people, like this person is either in like a literal sense, let's say, having like these really weird random spikes of energy, where they will do everything and get a lot of stuff done, and then they kind of crash, and then they're back at it again, and then they crash again. Or in a romantic sense, they're actually telling you that they want to take a break, they want to take time away from you, and then at the same time they text you like 2 or 3 hours later like, I miss you, let's work on this or whatever. And it just doesn't feel like it's very like this card wants to be in the upright and also in the reverse at the same time. So whatever that means to you guys, it's going to be one of those different scenarios that I just laid out. Either way, this person is also kind of sick of it as well, because you have the Justice card as well as the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords talks about petty arguments, petty conflicts, and just all around bad sportsmanship, right? So this to me is a person who was kind of like in a duel, right? Like a practice duel, and just simply took it way too far. The fact that there's Five Swords to me, even though I know that the Five of Swords usually depicts one person and then two other like opponents, I feel like this is like the story of somebody who dueled against like four other people and won all the little duels, right? But they're being a very sore winner about it, because like you can see that they're sticking out their tongue, and in the background it might be a little bit difficult to see, but there's a white flag. So like this should be over and done with, but they just kind of kept going at it, right? And the reason I say kept instead of keep is because this to me feels like past energy now, because it wants to be in the reverse. They want to come and fix this. They want to end this energy. They know that they've been very stubborn and kept arguing and not letting things go, and now they want to come back in the Justice and make things right. That's what the Justice is about. The Justice is 50-50. It's the balance of the black and white, right? The balance of you and me and the balance of A and B. So that's what they want to do. However, I do see that there's like this weird disconnect between them wanting to do that and actually being able to do that. I feel like that disconnect comes from the miscommunication, which is still running rampant, because I see the Six of Cups in reverse, Six of Pentacles in reverse. Sorry, I almost went through all the sixes in the deck and not this one, but the Six of Pentacles in reverse as well as the Three of Wands. So I do want to go talk about the other sixes for a little bit. So the Six of Cups talks about nostalgia and emotion, especially from like childhood. And then the Six of Wands is victory. So I feel like this energy kind of encompasses all of that, like in the reverse, because they're not really getting the results they want, even though they kind of have those emotions, but they're not really owning up to them. And they have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So the Six of Pentacles talks about generosity. So the fact that it's in reverse and with this other kind of energy, especially this energy and this, makes me feel like this person is really like not being as generous as they should be, right? So usually when I see the Six of Pentacles in reverse, I'll say that there's an issue with over generosity, but this to me feels like the opposite. And I do want to point out that I feel like this card belongs in this group, in this particular reading, and this is the 4, 5, and the 6. These two are for sure in reverse, and this one feels like 50% in the reverse. So I'm thinking that for a lot of you guys, like there's going to be a lot of progression, because whenever I see cards that line up like that, like the 4, 5, and 6, and we even have the 3 here, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm getting that for a lot of you guys, that's a thing. There's going to be very quick progression, very fast movement. So that's good news at least. And then you also have the World card in reverse, which tells me that this person, like I was saying, like they're trying to make things right, but they can't quite let go of the things that put you in this situation in the first place. So like I was saying, they're a little bit too stubborn. They're a little bit too thick-headed, and they're not really ready to let that go, especially since I'm getting a lot of Taurus energy from this King of Pentacles in particular. The King of Pentacles can represent any earth sign, so that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and then the World card actually represents a lot of those fixed signs. So that's Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and then the sign that I'm forgetting is going to kill me. So Taurus is the earth sign, Leo is the fire sign, Scorpio, that's the last fixed sign. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. So you guys are probably dealing with somebody who has a lot of that fixed energy, and they're not really letting go of their stubborn ways, and that's creating conflict in the relationship, even though they want to come forth and tell you these things that like, hey, look, I'm sorry, I want to make things right, but I don't know how to do it. And I feel like it's that I don't know how to do it part that they're not telling you, because they're stubborn. They're too thick-headed to tell you and just be honest about that. They want to be right, and they want to do things the right way the first time. And love's not always that way. It's not always that way. You guys are really trying your best out here, but so are they, and there's a lot of miscommunication. Also, the card that I haven't talked about here is the Three of Wands. I've like touched on it a couple times, but I haven't like explicitly talked about it. Basically, the Three of Wands is you've taken action and now you're ready to receive your first wave of feedback, right? You're waiting to see what the results are. So I think that this person has kind of taken some steps as a peace offering to sort of mend the waters, calm the waters, and sort of mend the situation. But now it's up to you to sort of explain to them, hey, you did this right, which is good for you. Congratulations, keep it up. But you did this, and that wrong. Work on it, right? And I think that you guys, either way, are going to have a lot of this communication and clarity come in, which is really good. I'm really, really happy for you guys that you have this Ace of Swords, because the Ace of Swords is always a good card to have, because it talks about clarity when we're talking about like things that they haven't told you or things that they want to tell you. So I'm sorry that this was so much more longer, but there was like so much energy that I needed to explain to you guys here. Basically, what they want to tell you is that they're sorry. They want to make things right. And then how you guys move forward from that is up to you guys. But I'm wishing you guys the best of luck. Either way, that was your reading for pile number 3. You guys are more than welcome to go back and choose another pile if you want. But please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel. And I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.